Hi, this is Gail Anderson. This is Mentoring Moments for Moms. If this is your first time being on, welcome. I'm glad you decided to jump on and join us for this morning. I do blog with my husband. We blog 3 times a week at kirbyanderson.com, and that link is in my profile on Periscope. Also, if this is the first time and you haven't seen my scopes before, they're all saved on my YouTube channel. The link for that is also in my profile on Periscope. Or you can just go to YouTube and you can search for Mentoring Moments for Moms and you'll get all those scopes. Great, glad to have you join us. Yeah, it's really a beautiful day here in Tulsa, having fun and thinking about you moms. This week we're talking about household management. So how many of you love to clean? That's my question for today, because we're going to talk about getting a handle on cleaning your home. I don't know about you, but I don't really care to clean. I mean, it's okay, but I like the results of it, so that's motivating enough to clean. But how many of you really love cleaning? Like, it's your deal. Like, you can't go buy a sink that needs to be cleaned and scrub it up so it's perfect. Anybody out there like that? We are all different. We all have different standards and we all have different ways we like to clean and different amounts of time we spend cleaning or how often. Gail, you done my washing yet? Okay, so anyway, don't know if you guys like to clean or not, but we're going to talk just a little bit about this. If you like what we're talking about, give me some hearts, just tap on the screen. And if you want to share this scope, please just swipe to the right and you can share it with your followers. So the biggest thing that you need for cleaning is to understand what your standards are and what your husband's are. Now, many of you are different. You have a husband who either has lower standards or higher standards than you. Yeah, it is life-changing to get a handle on it. Definitely. Excuse me just a second here. It gets done only because it has to, not because I like it. Agreed, I understand that. But you know what? We have to do... Excuse me, you guys. We have a bunch of extra people on this morning who I'm trying to get rid of here. And... okay, so sitting down and just discussing with your spouse, your significant other, your roommates, whatever, what the standards are for cleaning. Because sometimes you and I are working on keeping a certain area clean or at a certain standard, and the people we live with, the person we live with, our husband, has getting me okay this morning, or is the connection? Housework lives matter. Okay. This with your spouse, just figure out, okay, how often they need to have things clean, how clean they need to see things. You know, there's a big difference between having your home picked up and things generally in order versus having everything white glove clean. And I guess that's one of the things I want to stress to you this morning is white glove clean really shouldn't be the goal all the time. Maybe once a week, that's okay. But if you are so obsessive about it that you've got to clean everything every day, then you've really got to sit down and look at the choices you're making with your time. Let me know if you're having any trouble with the connection. My internet off. I'm not sure if I have this going right or not. So after you get some idea of what your standards are, then you've actually got to make a plan, because nothing really happens without a plan. And if we don't plan, I said this before, we plan to fail. That means we start getting, oh my gosh, I haven't done this in so long. This is filthy. I should have done this. So those are the things you want to make sure that you're not doing, that you're not getting too obsessive about areas or letting other areas go. Now, actually, I have several suggestions here, but I also picked up some weekly cleaning routines just to give you some ideas, and these links will be in the description of the scope today. This is from a house mom, Happy Money Saver, and she says my weekly cleaning routine. And the reason I'm giving you these links is so you can get ideas. Oh my gosh, the ceiling fans, I never do those. If you look at some of the things she does and how often she does them, that can give you an actual idea of how often to do housework. So she's got things that she does every day, and things that she does is she splits her cleaning into several days. You may like to do that, but you may also like to on Saturday and have it done and have everything done at once. That way you have actually days off, and that's usually the way I did it during my busiest is a cleaning or bi-weekly, and it gives you some really great ideas of even some deep cleaning. Deep cleaning, again, is something you don't want to do that once a month. You pick a few of those jobs to do, but just so you have most of the things that need done on a rotating basis. Most helpful. I've got a link in here for a master house cleaning list. Man, this lady really came off Pinterest, and the name is actually in the link for the person who did this. So there's so many areas of our cleaning that we forget, and it's good to catch up on those every quarter, every 6 months, once a year. But we do have to make sure that we just keep up on the main things on a regular basis. And that doesn't mean you have to clean your bathroom sinks every day, or you have to mop your floors every night. You know, I came from a house where there was no mopping. We got down on our hands and knees and scrubbed. That was the only way we did floors. And of course, that was back in the days of waxing too. So very interesting to come from that background. And then in addition to that, there were things like cleaning the refrigerator. The only way that we ever cleaned the refrigerator was to completely disassemble it. It took me years into my marriage to realize, wait a minute, I can just do a quick wipe out of the shelves, even wipe off a few of the bottles that need it, and in 10 minutes, I can give a pretty good cleaning in my refrigerator. So now I do that every week or two, just before I grocery shop, and then my refrigerator pretty much stays clean. And I don't do all that disassembling for a long, long, long time. So I've also got a blank sheet in there for you to start planning out which things you want to do daily, weekly, monthly, once a quarter, and once a year. If you can divide your cleaning up that way, it's easier to be able to see things that need done, put them on your list, and do them on a regular rotating basis, but not too often. You shouldn't be pulling out your refrigerator and cleaning under it every week. That's a lot of extra work. And you know, moms, we want to have some other goals in our lives. We want to be able to have lots of time for our kids, for managing the rest of the household, for our husbands, and time for ourselves. So to me, when I know things are going to get done, then it helps me relax and enjoy the rest of my time, which is very, very... So I've made up a few notes here of things I just want to mention for you to consider in helping you get through cleaning in a better way. First of all, just picking up the house at the end of the day is wonderful. That helps you so when you get up, you've got the house looking half decent and you can continue on your way for the day. Keeping the toys and the kids stuff limited in the main area of the house, that is very helpful. For my husband, that was wonderful, keeping the place picked up and the toys more in their bedrooms or in a family room rather than in the kitchen and the living room. Now here's a suggestion: as your kids get a little bit older and they're leaving stuff in the main area of the house, use a bag to collect those items. And then at the end of the week, if they haven't claimed them, then they need to come and pay you a dime or something for each item to get it out of the bag. Now that's a negative reinforcer, so you want to be able to start out positively reinforcing them for putting things away. But that's something you can use if the positive reinforcement hasn't worked. Something that helped me a lot over the years was to make sure the kids were wearing shoes when they were outside, so they weren't bringing the dirt in the house, and then taking their shoes off when they came inside. Again, so they weren't bringing the dirt into the house. That helped on some of the cleaning. Have set days for cleaning. If you do feel like you want to do a little every day, that's great. Have certain things that you do so you make sure everything gets done and things aren't skipped. But if you're like me, then you like to do a major clean one day during the week and then maybe a mini clean later on. And you know, if you walk by a sink and it's filthy dirty, If you have some little rags under your sink, you know, just some cleaning rags that you can just quick wipe out the sink and that's it. You haven't done a major clean, but you've wiped out whatever was bothering you, so that's good. If you want to do deep cleaning, limit that to maybe once a month. You know, that's when you do your baseboards, or maybe vacuum against the baseboards, or clean the ceiling fans, clean the windows and windowsills. I know one of these checklists I am putting in the profile talked about doing your windows every time they're cleaning that room, and I thought, oh my gosh, you know, I'm not doing that. Certain windows really matter if they're going to be, you know, if they're doors or right close to a doorway where people are going to be noticing coming in and out. But other than that, don't cause yourself to slave over this stuff, because 10 years from now, is it going to matter that you had everything completely clean? Probably not. Take time to teach your children to clean. I did another scope on that, so refer to that, and you can get ideas on what they can do at each age so that they can help you, and enlist the whole family, especially if you're cleaning on the weekend. Get the kids involved, get your husband involved. Maybe that's the time he can do some of his jobs, as well as maybe help you by vacuuming. Eventually, when your kids get old enough, they can be completely responsible for their rooms, their dressers, their bathrooms. They can clean all those things, which is major deal that should help you with all these things. So take the time to set up a system so you know your house is getting clean to your own standards, not mine, not to your girlfriend's, but to your own system, and that system is in place, then you'll be able to keep that going. So hopefully I've given you a few things to think about. Check out the links in the description so you can see those different housework lists, as well as the blank one to be able to fill in for yourself. And moms, you are valuable and precious. Do something good for yourself today. This is Gail Anderson. Thanks, Sid. Good to see you today. Have a wonderful one.